All right, folks, it's time for me to give my early thoughts on Dragon's Dogma 1 Dark Arisen, which I am currently playing through ahead of Dragon's Dogma 2, which is coming March, I think, 22nd. And I'm going to be playing that on my Xbox Series X. I'm also playing this on the Xbox Series X. I originally picked this game up because a lot of people who were following the Baldur's Gate 3 streams were like, hey, you should try this game out. It's coming in next year. Are you excited for Dragon's Dogma 2? And I'm like, I don't know anything about this. I've never played the first one. The first one came on sale like, I don't know, November or something like that, December. I picked it up for like $5. And this is what I'm working on right now, is playing through this game to get ready for Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, I have been very vocal about the point on my channel that I am not a huge fan of action combat, like spam the button style of gameplay. I don't play Dark Souls games. I don't play, Elden Ring. I don't enjoy those types of experiences. So this was a little out of my wheelhouse, despite the fact that I do love things like Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order, God of War Ragnarok. I don't mind action-based games, but I don't like Dark Souls types games, if that makes sense. And this isn't really a Souls game so much as it is sort of like a hybrid between the two. My personal feelings alone. Other people probably have different things to say about this game. So I don't know, probably around 10 hours into the game so far. And I just finished up this horrific fight on a live stream where you went down into this like crypt and there were these like tentacles coming out of the ground and it was just a horrific encounter and yeah. So I want to give my early thoughts. So there are some things I like and some things I don't like. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where Dragon's Dogma 2 has improved upon the game. Because as I understand it, this game first came out originally in. I'm going to go look. I'm going to Google this really quick so that I can understand the timelines completely. I'm coming off of the stream, and so I didn't have all this stuff pulled up. So Dragon's Dogma launched in 2012, and then Dark Arisen, which was I heard it was like an expansion that got turned into a like a full-on redo. It says began development in 2012, was released in 2013. So this is like I'm playing Dark Arisen. So this was 2020. So this is 12 years old essentially, 11, 12 years old depending on which version of the game you're playing. So there's a lot of difference between games that were released in 2012 versus 2023, 2024. So I think that a lot, well, I would hope that a lot of my reservations about this game and this series are based upon the fact that this is a 12-year-old game that has a lot of the jank from 12 years ago, which has been sort of solved over the last 10, 12 years of development by AAA studios. So I do love the RPG factor here. So let me get this out of my way. I'm going to pull this window here. So one of the things I immediately loved was the danger in darkness and the fact that you need to have a lantern and you can actually equip a lantern and he pulls it out and he like puts it on his belt. Like that is a really cool feature to have as you run around. And then also having it use oil and you need to refill it, that's really cool. Um, Also really cool is the ability to like grab people and like chuck them around, or to grab objects and chuck them around. Um, it's very interesting, even though it's done in a way that's like old school, right? Um, the one thing I dislike, and it's one of the reasons, typically I will play a ranged character or a some sort of a thief character. I decided not to do a melee character in this game because of how much just spamming of the buttons was required. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have to be spamming the buttons that much. And I looked at the sorcerer mage. And originally, when I saw the Dragon's Dogma reveal about a week ago, Dragon Dogma 2, they revealed the sorcerer in IGN did I think IGN first is what it's called, reveal. And I looked at that and went, the sorcerer looks really cool, calling down lightning from the sky and everything else. I think I want to try that. So I started with the mage. I actually just today during the stream was able to get the sorcerer vocation, so I'm now a sorcerer. And I really like you know, these spells. So like being able to call down lightning like this. This might be a bad decision to do this in town, but like, you know, being able to call down lightning and then to do the fire spells and everything else that you can do with the mage, and then charging them up, and it's a little less spam the buttons because I'm charging abilities, so it's felt a little bit more, you know, relaxed in terms of the game style. So I haven't need to be running around the battlefield as much as I would need to be if I was a warrior or a ranged character, or like a thief character or something. So, you know, I've been playing something out of the box, which is very intriguing to me. One thing I just think is janky as I'll get out is the jumping on mobs, because of the way that the bodies, like the NPCs, like the bodies all mesh together and they're like going through each other, and it just looks like absolute 12-year-old garbage in terms of the way it visually comes across with all of the, you know, there's like no colliders on those, a lot of those bodies, and so they're just constantly, you're going in and out of the monster's body when you're trying to jump on them. It looks much better in the Dragon's Dogma 2 videos I've seen, so I think it'll, maybe my concerns about the jankiness will be removed once I play Dragon's Dogma 2. But everything that this game has going for it so far, I think mechanics-wise, what they have going on here with the crafting system, the curatives, the tools, the equipment, all this different stuff, and the way that they do the quests, all this is very interesting. I just got this one right here, this worm hunt license, which means I need to go talk to the Duke. You know, we see a lot of traditional RPG elements here with your quest tracker and all of your stats and how much weight you can carry and everything else. But then on top of this, they've got this weird party system with the pawns, which, as I understand it, at the peak of this game, maybe it's, I'm supposing, I said, not I'm supposing, I am theorizing that the online pawn component no longer is a big deal because this is an old, like a 12-year-old game. But there, as I understand it, has, like, you have your pawns, but then other people can have their pawns and they can make those pawns available to other players, and you can have an online component, and there's certain buffs and things that you could get from the pawns if you're using other people's pawns. But I've also heard horror stories, and everyone was telling me when I was playing this game, like, you shouldn't use pawns from the online component because a lot of people will troll other players by setting up their pawns to be completely just worthless and to do stupid things like just chain pull and all this other stuff. So I'm just using the ones, literally, it's, I went into the portal at the very beginning of the game and I have a fighter, a mage, and a healer, and then I am a sorcerer. So it's been working for me so far. I don't know if that'll remain the case long term, but I have enjoyed like the RPG elements of the game. I will put that away. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload, or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. I think I love the fact that you can pick up the like exploding barrels and like throw them around the battlefield. You can interact with a lot of things. You can, you know, jump on top of stuff. There's, you know, there's some really interesting elements to the game. The gameplay itself, ooh, we're gonna get a chest. Pays to explore. The combat, I am not a huge fan of the combat system. It's not horribly bad, but it just feels really janky in some areas. I do like the fact that I have, it kind of reminds me of like when you're playing Guild Wars 1 and you had the NPCs who would come help you. And so far the NPCs do an okay job, but it's also, sometimes I feel like I'm playing a Bethesda game with how poorly the companions follow me. Like if I'm telling them, hey, come with me, you know, come here, they get stuck in the environment all the time. They get stuck in hallways. It can be very frustrating if they get stuck in places as you're running around. So overall, I would say if I had to give it a score based on my initial impression, um, the story so far has been I have made no secret over the years of the fact that I don't like stories where I'm told that I'm the chosen one, the prophesied one, and in this one I'm like the Arisen, and I'm reborn, and somehow all these pawns want to follow me, and apparently in the past life I fought a dragon, and the dragon took my heart, and now I'm supposed to find the dragon to get my heart back, and everybody calls me the Arisen, and I'm some special hero. I'm not a fan of those storylines, so I'm a little nervous about where the story is going to go over time and whether or not it's going to be any good. My overall reaction to the game so far is I would give it a 6 out of 10. I don't know. A 6 out of 10 is a good is where I'm going to stay for now. That score might change as I get deeper into it. I would have to say this: if I hadn't had so many people in my community telling me that it's a really good game and that I would probably enjoy it, I probably would not have played this. Um, but I'm also looking at, as I continue to grow my channel, I need to expand my horizons and try new things. And just because I haven't liked something in the past doesn't mean I won't like it in the future. And all the trailers and the movies and everything that I've seen, teaser previews that I've seen for Dragon's Dogma 2, makes me think that that's going to be a really cool game to play. But I also understand that I should, try this game out to understand a little more. I also understand there's a Netflix show which I need to go watch to get up to speed on all the lore and everything else. So I'm going to be doing that over the course of February into March, so that I can fully understand the second game as I get into it, and go from there. I'm not disliking the game. It's not something that's so bad I'm just like, I don't want to play it. But it's definitely something where I'm playing it and seeing lots of quirks and annoyances that if I hadn't had so many recommendations from people to play it, I probably would have by this point said, you know what, this isn't my style. I'm going to go on and try something else. But I am going to push through, and as I understand things, it's about 40 hours long, the main storyline. If you just staying with the main storyline, I am not going to be in a completionist game of this journey of this game. I literally just want to see the story, understand it, get it done, so I can be prepped for the second one. And as soon as I finish this, I'm going to go watch the Netflix show. Once I'm done with the Netflix show, I'll be ready to go for Dragon's Dogma 2 when it launches in late March. So 6 out of 10 is the current score that I'm giving it. Obviously, I'll have a final thoughts video and a review when I'm completely done. But in the meantime, if you want to watch me follow along, you can check out the playlist down below. Daily streams happen at 8 a.m. Central Time here and on Twitch. I don't think I'm going to be doing any guides around this game because I'm literally just here to play it through and see the story. So it'll just be play sessions. So check those out. In the meantime, I got other stuff to do. We're still playing Warcraft. I'm going to be doing. There will be a brief period of there will be a break in Dragon's Dogma content when Prince of Persia comes out, because I'm going to do that, but that's only about 25 hours, so 25, 30 hours of gameplay, so I should be over that one pretty quick, and then we'll be back to this and finishing up. So if all that sounds good to you, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Love to hear your thoughts on this game if you've played it in the past. Let me know if there are things I should be looking forward to. Does the combat get less janky? Do the companions get better, or is the AI always kind of messed up? Love to hear that kind of stuff. Drop them down in the comments below. See everybody in the next one. Until then, stay safe. Happy gaming, everybody.